told you we was giving you the okay, back today to make a way. He gon' die today, nobody still.
All right, so first off, just kind of explain, what y'all are doing here today, what the event is, and everything like that.
Yeah, first off, I'm Keith Daniel Sneak, filmmaker, here with my man Steph Simon, Dickie Rowe, you know what I mean, World Culture Quarterback. We here doing a film showing for Fire in Africa, the doc, which I co-directed, me along with Ben Lindsay, and we're here in Oklahoma City to give that showing and do a little Q&A afterwards.
For sure. So, because you were on the album as well.
Yeah.
So kind of talk about the dual role of being there and being involved and trying to be present in the process, but also it's a different thing, documenting everything, kind of being seeing the overarching. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say?
Yeah. It's you get a different perspective. You know what I mean? Being behind the camera, as you would know. Sometimes it's like a fly on the wall. So it's like the first few days of recording, it was, strictly business. Let's capture as much film as we could. Let's get these guys in their element. Let's make sure we capturing the songs that need to be, that come out dope, right? But then you keep hearing the dope songs. You keep hearing all the stuff, and you like, man, I can rap too. You keep hearing the beat that's fly, and after a while, the rapper in you just has to come out, and you have to just express yourself that way. So it's at that point, it's yo, let me put the camera down, or you hold the camera, and try to sneak in a couple quick verses. And I was able to do that a couple times, and one of them happened to get onto the album.
So you were there originally just at, making the behind the scenes, doing all that stuff, and then
just I was originally hired as a shooter for the doc. So coming in with Ben Lindsay and my man Pay, we were the main three cinematographers for the doc. So our primary job was filming that entire weekend. Really 5 days, and so we were jumping around room to room, going to a lot of different places, but being in a room with some of your homies and inspiration, and you get chances and pockets to kind of hop on the mic, you know what I mean, and really took that. Pay was the other cinematographer, and he made it on the album as well. So
for sure. So obviously they knew, I guess they hired y'all out to come, they knew it was important to document it, but as far as on y'all's side of things, it's a difference in trying to just film a bunch of people for a weekend versus y'all were trying to tell the story of not only the album, but the whole everything that was going on. So kind of just talk about first of all why that was important, you know what I mean, rather than just getting a bunch of B-roll film of people in the studio.
Yeah, facts, man. You're right, because it was more than just getting people recording. We was all there for a purpose, right? Which is what I love about this project, is because a lot of people that was already a part of it, of Fire in Africa, was already pushing this movement, this narrative of Black Wall Street and Black ownership and do it yourself. And those who wasn't, it was an educational opportunity, because we came in and we got educated even more about Black Wall Street, about 1921, the race massacre, and it helped open our eyes creatively, learning all that. So we were there for a purpose. So it was a certain energy in the room, right? It was all right, it's our job as Oklahomans, as living ancestors, to tell this story, and we can't mess it up. So pressure was there, but we really don't feel it if because we seasoned to this game. But it was definitely, I think everybody knew that, hey, we gotta come with it, you know what I mean? And so it carried over to the film side. It was yo, we got to come with it. We got to make sure, we did constant regroups and huddles and audibles and saying, okay, what have you been focusing on? Okay, let's start focusing on interviews. Let's start asking these type of questions. Let's start getting the temperature from everybody on how the weekend is feeling, how the energy is feeling, especially when we switch over to the mansion. It was okay, how does this compare to when we was just at Greenwood? And it's a total 180, so it's just one of them. Total 360. So it's just, yeah, man. That's really it.
Dope. And then I kind of just want to get your thoughts on. There's not a ton of projects that you do that 2 years later, you're still, you know what I'm saying, getting, doing events and, being asked to come talk about, you know what I mean, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So how that feels as far as
Well, when you have a project that holds this type of weight and substance, and is this true and is impactful to a community, it's gonna be around for a while, right? If it was just something that popped off, you know what I mean, on the 100th year anniversary and we were forgotten about, it would feel like more like tokenism versus, all right, what we saying and what we doing here is really sparking an interest and an effect on people even outside of just Tulsa, right? We were just in Arkansas and for a showing of the doc just a few weeks ago. So it's really, I mean, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to be able to have co-directed this and have interested parties still wanting to see this film and wanting to learn more about the history and what we did that weekend. And we as a spokesman for Black Wall Street, because that's really what we are as artists in our city, and we take on that burden, and so this is, it comes with it.